Young prince, stop talking nonsense, Anton Reese put on a righteous facade and declared. I have always conducted myself with integrity, and have never committed any disgraceful acts. I am worthy of the prince's trust, the people's trust, and I have a clear conscience before the heavens, the earth, and all men. You speak quite grandly, Thorian Reese said coldly. If you are truly as clean as you claim, why not let the enforcement squad investigate you? At these words, Anton Reese's expression stiffened, and a flicker of unease crossed his face. What official doesn't have a few skeletons in their closet? If a deep investigation were conducted, some crimes would inevitably be uncovered. Even if the offenses weren't severe, they would still tarnish his reputation. However, with so many colleagues present, he couldn't back down now. Otherwise, how would he maintain his standing in the political arena? How could he continue claiming to be an honest and upright official? Investigate me if you wish. Anton Reese straightened his posture and forced himself to remain composed. I have lived my life with clean hands and have never engaged in illegal dealings. No matter how deeply you investigate, you will find nothing. Clean hands, is it? Very well. Let's see whether you are a man or a fraud. Thorian Reese snorted coldly and instructed William. Immediately bring the enforcement squad and conduct a thorough investigation of Lord Anton. Leave no stone unturned. After all, no one is perfect. It was normal for those in power to secure some personal benefits, and minor entanglements of interest were often overlooked. Most of the time, the enforcement squad turned a blind eye to such matters. As long as the offenses weren't egregious or fatal, minor transgressions were usually dealt with through verbal warnings rather than severe punishment. But today, Anton Reese's blatant distortion of truth had thoroughly angered Thorian Reese. If he didn't properly deal with him now, Anton Reese would only become more audacious. Understood. William cupped his hands in salute and turned to leave. Wait. Anton Reese suddenly panicked and quickly spoke up. What's wrong? Feeling guilty? Thorian Reese sneered. Weren't you quite confident just now? Who says I'm guilty? Anton Reese swallowed nervously and forced himself to keep up the act. I am merely worried that some people might try to frame me, fabricating false charges against me, just like they did to General Lewis. His words were a deliberate move to give himself a way out. Even if Thorian Reese did uncover evidence against him, he could simply claim it was a setup and clear himself of any wrongdoing. Even now, you still insist that General Lewis is innocent? You still think I judged him wrongly? Thorian Reese demanded. Are the mountains of evidence before you still not enough to convince you? Evidence can be forged. If I haven't seen it with my own eyes or heard it from absolutely credible witnesses, I will never believe that General Lewis committed such heinous crimes. Anton Reese stubbornly insisted. You want first-hand witnesses? Fine. I'll give them to you. Thorian Reese signaled to William with his eyes. Bring in the two criminals. Let's hear what they have to say. Yes, sir. William quickly left. The ministers exchanged glances, whispering among themselves. Criminals? Who could they be? The red notice only mentioned General Lewis. There was no mention of other officials. Could these be the witnesses the young prince was referring to? As murmurs filled the hall, Anton Reese tried to maintain a composed expression, but internally, he was growing increasingly anxious. He had been relying on his rhetorical skills to stubbornly argue his case, but he had no solid foundation to stand on. If Thorian Reese truly produced ironclad witness testimony, Anton Reese would be left with no escape. With that thought, Anton Reese quickly added, Young prince, don't think that just bringing in a few nobodies will suffice as witnesses. I made it very clear. A witness must have a certain level of authority to be credible. And what level of authority do you deem necessary? Thorian Reese asked. At least an official of third rank or higher. Anton Reese declared. Third rank? I don't have any of those. Thorian Reese smirked. But I do have two first-rank officials. Take a look for yourself. He gestured toward the entrance. The ministers turned their heads just in time to see two disheveled men, dressed in prisoner's garb, being escorted inside by William. Both men had their heads lowered, their expressions weary, and they walked sluggishly as if their spirits had been utterly crushed. At first, the ministers couldn't clearly see the prisoners' faces, but the moment Thorian Reese spoke, the two prisoners lifted their heads, and the entire room was thrown into shock. These two men were none other than the commander of the city guard and the grand secretary of Sky Seal Pavilion. Both were first-rank officials of West Lacosia, outranking Anton Reese in both status and influence. After all, Anton Reese was merely an honorary minister without real power, while the city guard commander and the grand secretary both wielded actual authority. No one could have expected that these once powerful figures, who had once held sway over the kingdom, would now be reduced to prisoners. What exactly had happened?
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care, now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place.